I can't believe you guys brought chips and dip to my murder.
We live in an age where there's so many different streaming services constantly pumping out content that it can be difficult to keep track of what has even come out of them, never mind having the time to actually watch any of it. So I was a bit surprised when a colleague of mine told me about the Bondsman that had released on Prime Video, as I had seen barely any advertisement for it, which was especially weird as I've been using Prime more than any other streaming service because I wanted to watch House. The Bondsman stars Kevin Bacon as Hub Halloran, a bounty hunter who works around the Georgia area. One night, when attempting to bring in his latest bounty, Hub is ambushed and killed. He then wakes up in the walls of the motel where he died in, his slit throat healing itself and a mysterious brand appearing on his arm. Not only does he discover that it was Lucky Callahan, his ex-wife's new boyfriend, that tried to kill him, but he's also been chosen by the devil to hunt down demons that have escaped hell, and are currently trying to conduct a ritual that would unleash an apocalypse on Earth.
Oh, you're still a bounty hunter, Mr. Halloran, but now you hunt demons. For the devil.
I really do like the show, especially the characters in it. I don't know what it is, but there's a sort of sincerity and natural flow to the dialogue that I really enjoy. And pretty much all of them are relatable, having goals and regrets and family dynamics that I think everyone can understand. You've got Hub, a man who really wanted to follow his passion and be a musician, but ultimately he felt he couldn't succeed and decided to go back to the family business of bounty hunting. He loves his family and genuinely wants them to be happy and succeed despite his cynicism, desperately trying to keep them away from the situation he's found himself in. One of the biggest flaws he has is his desire to try and make everything work out for everyone, a flaw that constantly sees him trying to go against the devil and may have actually made the situation a lot worse by the end of the season. He also tends to have a lot of doubt and no-nonsense attitude when it comes to his job, with a lot of the humour in the early episodes being him struggling to come to terms with the fact that he was resurrected by the devil and is now having to hunt dead people possessed by evil spirits.
Tell me the truth. Did you die?
Yeah, I think maybe I did.
Kitty Halloran is Hub's mother who helps him with his bounty hunting, with herself also being one before passing the business down to him. A very church and family centric person, she's desperate to see her son happy and tries her best to assist him with his job if it means possibly saving him from hell. But she's also aware of her son's stubborn nature and is willing to keep secrets from him if it means to avoid hurting him. Mary Ann is Hub's ex-wife and a musician at the town bar, being someone who has always strived to do better things in her career and refuses to give up on her dream like Hub did. She's also got a big heart but refuses to give in to the nonsense her ex constantly brings around her, refusing to allow anything that might jeopardize the prospects of her or their son's career. Speaking of which, Cade is the son of Hub and Mary Ann, who also wants to be a musician just like his mother is and his dad was. However, he's full of doubt about if he really wants to be a musician, not helped by his dad's overprotectiveness and the weird circumstances that the demon hunting ends up causing for him. Lucky Callahan is the new boyfriend of Mary Ann and naturally the main rival that Hub has to deal with. The two are shown to hate each other, especially due to Lucky having done some seriously shady stuff while working for the mafia in Boston, to the point where Lucky decides to have Hub killed at the start of the show due to circumstances that get explored in the final episode. As the show goes on, he believes that Hub is actually working with the demons and vows to stop him, becoming another obstacle in Hub's journey to stop the apocalypse. And the final main character, Midge. She is another of the employees of the devil and Hub's handler. Several years ago, she made a deal with the devil in exchange for her newborn son not dying, and as such she now has to handle sending documentation and missions to several different people, with Hub being one of them. The show has a lot of good dialogue, mythological lore, some cool fight scenes, and it's not afraid to show people dying horrible deaths. It has 8 episodes and they're only around 30-ish minutes long, meaning that the show moves at a decent pace without a lot of filler in between the action. If you've seen the Ash vs the Evil Dead show, it's got a similar vibe to that. One thing I especially like about each episode is that it tries to show a different kind of demon so it has new stakes. For instance, in the second episode we have a water-based demon, and as such Hub has to track different sources of water to try and find out where the demon has gone, as well as fighting it near a swimming pool. The set locations are also really good, you really feel like you're out there in Georgia, and the costume design is good as well. You feel like you're part of the town and no one seems very outlandish except for Lucky, who is designed to be that way because of people mocking his cowboy hat. If I have 2 main criticisms of the show, it's mostly to do with parts of the action scenes. The show's budget isn't as big compared to a lot of other streaming originals, and as such some of the special effects seem a bit off in certain scenes. The other problem is that while there's a lot of creativity in the fight scenes, a lot of the time when it comes to the demons getting close to the hub, they tend to just do that thing where they throw him around instead of just killing him, which always serves to suck you out of the immersion, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and I think the rest of the show makes up for it. Now, while I'm more than happy to recommend this show to you, you probably guessed by this title that things haven't really worked out for it. And it seems like I'm not the only one who failed to notice this show was out, because this morning, just after finishing it, Amazon has announced that it's been cancelled due to a lack of interest, meaning that a season 2 is highly unlikely to happen. So I still recommend giving it a watch, it'll help pass the time for a few hours, but be prepared to be slightly annoyed at the ending, because it's not going to get continued by the looks of things. Thanks for watching, lads and lasses. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. Sharing always helps, and if you're feeling really generous, please consider my Patreon or YouTube membership. I also have a Twitter and occasionally I do live streams. But most of all, I just hope you had a great day, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.